Oh, hey, what's up? I went tent camping, okay, in the burning heat, me and my son, and I'm gonna tell you 8 things I wish I knew before hot weather tent camping.
Gosh, I'm hot.
One thing, always make sure you bring your buffalo skull. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That was a joke. Okay, number one is gonna be water and the amount of water that you're gonna bring. Okay, me and my son, we went camping and we barely had enough water. I mean, it was like we were walking back to the truck and both sharing the last little bit of water bottle that we had. Last little bit of water. That's cutting it a little bit close. All right. You don't want to cut it that close. Okay, so what's generally recommended is 2 liters of drinking water per person per day. So 2 liters, that would be 4 of these per day per person. Okay? Okay, and then on top of that, you're gonna need 2 extra liters for sanitation, washing your hands, washing plates or your utensils. You're gonna need an extra 2 liters. And then if it's a real hot day, just throw another liter in there. So 5 liters per person. That'd be 10 of these water bottles, or about a gallon and a half of water. About a gallon and a half of water per person per day. Okay. Now, if you're just going on a 1 day trip, that's not a big deal. That's not unmanageable. But if you're going on a multiple day trip with multiple people, you're gonna want to look into learning how to sanitize your own water source. Which is what I'm looking into that right now myself. Eventually, I'll be doing that later on down the line. But for now, I'm gonna stick with that 10 water bottles per person, and I think that'll work out pretty good. A lot better than sharing the last water as we're walking to the truck. Okay, that's gonna bring us over to number 2 on the list, which is your activities. Make sure you're doing your activities early in the morning or later on in the afternoon. You're gonna want to avoid the hottest parts of the day. You're just gonna burn yourself up. That's what me and my son did. We burnt ourselves up walking around at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock. You're gonna want to do your activities after 3 o'clock. That's when it starts cooling down a little bit. The sun starts going behind the trees or something. That's when you start doing some exploring and stuff like that. Our tip number 3 is gonna be clothing. Okay, you want to be prepared for the heat. You want to be prepared for the sun. I had on long sleeve shirt, which was good. And that's what you want to wear, something to cover up your skin if you need to be covered up, or have sunscreen. These fishing shirts right here, these are real good because they're moisture wicking and they're real thin and lightweight. So these are good fishing shirts and good shirts to be out in the sun with. And also want to have a large hat if you can. I always try and have a good hat on, like something like this. Okay, this might be a little bit overkill. This thing could probably double as a dang umbrella for 3 other people. But yeah, you want to have on a large brimmed hat. Maybe my son, he didn't have a hat on, which is my bad. I should have had a hat for him. That's my bad. Okay, you also want to have something that can maybe you could throw on over your clothes if it starts cooling down a little bit. There's an old saying in Oklahoma: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, because it'll change. And that's true. So you just got to be prepared for whatever kind of weather's coming up. Now, in the heat, you want to wear some shorts or a shirt like this you can throw on over. That's good. But you want to be keeping an eye out on that forecast, keeping your eyes up in the sky. Now, if you can't look at your phone, like we couldn't check our phones, that's going to bring us up to number 4, which is service, your cell phone service. Okay, we didn't have no cell phone service at all, and this was something I had no idea was going to happen, and it was pretty wide range. I didn't have no service. Like, we got in the truck, we started driving down the road because we wanted to get a hold of my wife, say goodnight, and just check in. We drove a couple miles down the road and still couldn't get no service. So double check. You can look it up on the websites and stuff and see if there's going to be service there. Because mama back home, she was scared. She said she didn't hardly sleep all night because she was so worried about us. So double check that. Double check your service. That takes us on over to number 4, which is weather. You always want to check the forecast, see what's coming up in the weather, which is a step we completely skipped on our last camping adventure. And it was a pretty crazy adventure because there was a lot of stuff going on and we made a lot of mistakes, but we're learning from it. So check the forecast, see what's coming up, see if there's going to be any storms coming, and be prepared for those storms. We got in there, got in the tent, started laying down, just about to fall asleep. Then we start hearing thunder, we start seeing lightning. I'm like, well, maybe it's going to miss us. And then we start getting raindrops on our face and our stuff started getting wet. So I had to jump out of the tent, put the rain fly over the tent so we didn't get all soaking wet and our bags didn't get all wet. Okay, bring us on over to number 6 of the things I wish I knew before I went. I wish I knew this little fan right here, the batteries were dead on it. So inspect your gear. Okay, number 6 is inspect your gear that you're taking. Make sure that it's working properly. Because I'm a hot sleeper already, and I brought this fan out there and it was going to keep me cool at night. Well, it worked for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I didn't hardly get no sleep. So inspect your gear, make sure your batteries are charged, or make sure you got extra batteries if you need to swap them out. That'll save you a lot of headache. I recommend one of these little fans too. If you're going to be out there in the heat, these little fans work good. Just make sure you got extra batteries. Okay, going over to number 7. What happened is wildlife. Know your wildlife that you're going out there and getting yourself into. Like the raccoons were a big problem for us when we went. The dang trash pandas. They stole from us. They came up, and they're smart too. They came up into our ice chest that was sitting over there on the picnic table, and it was a zip-up ice chest. It had a zipper on it. They grabbed the zipper and started opening the ice chest up, and was about to reach his hand in there. We had to yell at him to scare him off, but so be prepared for something like that. We ended up hanging the ice chest from the tree so they couldn't get to it. Then we met the guy down on the trail who he said, watch out for the rattler snakes, which I know to watch out for the rattler snakes. Obviously, I always watch out for rattler snakes, but he said watch out for rattler snakes and water moccasins, that they're real bad right now. And he had on some armor plating on his all around his legs, on his shins, so that they couldn't bite him. So he was prepared. He was prepared for rattlers. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of urban myths about rattler bites, and sucking the poison out of the bite or applying a tourniquet above the bite, which is not true. I've done a lot of research on it, and all you want to do is circle where you got bit and write the time of your bite, and then rush your butt to the nearest hospital. Which brings us into number 8. And that's going to be emergency situations, and specifically knowing where your nearest hospital is, and knowing the route to get there. Because if something were to happen, people lose their minds in those situations. I don't want to scare you or nothing, but people lose their minds in those emergency situations like that. And if you already have a plan, you already know where the nearest hospital is, things will go a lot smoother if that situation does occur where, okay, somebody got bit by a rattlesnake. I'm gonna mark the time down, and I know the route to the nearest hospital, and I'm gonna be going 100 miles an hour there the whole time. So get out the way. You know what I mean? Watch, move. Okay, and that was the 8 things I wish I knew before we went hot weather camping. But it's an experience. Me and my son, we had a good time. We learned a lot, and it was all for the experience. And we had a good time, and you will too if you just get out there and try it out. Hopefully my mistakes can help you. Okay, and if you want to see this video, it should be popping up here any second, or I'll leave a link in the description for you, and you can go check it out. This is IDK Adventures. Thanks for watching.